Oh, damn. Look at that camera. That camera shot. That is so nice. What's up, guys? My name is Hunter. Today we're going to talk about how you can reduce the size of your losers or reduce your losers. Just give you a couple tips and tricks. I'm actually going to dive into the charts here today and just kind of show you some things that you might be doing. So make sure that you watch all three of them. There's going to be three. They're going to be good. Let's do it. All right, guys, so the first one is that people are FOMOing into trades. Let's say that there's going to be a big spike in the market or something like this. I know you guys know that you're not supposed to do this, but you should sometimes still be doing that. And I'm just going to quickly dive in here and I'm going to show you an example of how you know when to FOMO and when to actually wait for a proper retrace where you're going to actually be retracing. Let's look at. All right, guys, so this is going to be an example as if for, in a sense, a breakout trader or something like that. You can use very similar logic in different means, but let's say that we were looking for this breakout here into this trend. We were trying to go back into the trend. Let's say, very put it simply, we're breaking above some levels, after this retrace, and we wanted to jump into this major trend because we see that major trend there. We want to jump in onto that major trend, and maybe you just kind of miss it, right? And then it starts exploding up, and you're saying, oh crap, I really want to get into that. I was looking for that retrace, even though, let's say that you got in, you started looking right around here, for example, and you're not sure what to do. Right, you're not sure because it's still below the highs, but you want to get in because you're pretty sure it's going to continue up in that same trend. You're a trend trader, and you know that trend's going to really be your friend, right? So what we're going to do is we're always going to look back at previous levels of untested support or resistance. So after we see this breakout, what we're going to do is we're just going to place an order right on either this candle, the actual breakout candle there, or if you wanted to be a little bit greedier, just down a little bit lower and the actual candle that did cause a breakout, right? And then you can put your stop just slightly below that level, that range, right? This actually hasn't acted as a retest down here, so in this case I might be a little bit hesitant and I might want to put my stop just a little bit wider because it could actually come back down to this level and just wick slightly below that, right? And then we're going to be able to target the whatever we're targeting, whether we're targeting way up here or we're targeting further. We're just trend trading. We might not have a target. Sometimes a lot of you guys don't like to target things with trend trades. You like to just let the trade run as long as possible. Now, the thing I'm going to mention is if this doesn't come back quickly, we're going to want to pull that resting order, because we're going to assume that other traders are also pulling those resting orders, and that level is then getting weaker. So we're going to have to actually wait to see what happens on that retest, and then look for a very similar pattern, looking for that retest, looking for that retrace, and then the break back into the trend. But since it just rallies so quickly, you were a little bit late to the party. Maybe you saw it here, maybe you saw it up here. We're just going to wait for that retest. We're not going to FOMO. We're going to have a nice stop, and then we're going to be able to hit that 3R trade every time. If we had just FOMO'd, right, maybe we saw it right here after that candle. You can see maybe the stop is in the same spot and the take profit is the same spot. That is less than half of the profits in respect to how much you would lose. And if you're betting the exact same amount, you're actually doubling what you're going to be losing if you did lose. So that's the first one there for you guys. That's going to reduce the size of your losses in respect to your wins. All right, here's another thing, guys, that I remember I used to do all the time as a learning trader. I don't really do it anymore, but I still kind of have that feeling sometimes that I do want to break these rules. And that's going to be jumping into a trade too early. And specifically, what majority of you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be looking for those reversals. Everyone loves to grab the top. Everyone loves to grab the bottom and then feel like they're freaking king. They're the best trader in the world. And then they brag to their friends whenever they catch the exact top or exact bottom. You don't want to do this, first of all. You don't want to be trying to catch tops and bottoms. That's a bad idea. What you do want to do is really focus and wait for the reversal to actually happen, and then you're going to have tons of opportunities to get into that trend. Let's look at it. All right, so if we're kind of looking at the same chart here, you can see maybe we were looking for a rejection off of this level in the pound dollar here, right? That's a nice supply area, and we were drawing this out, right? And then you see, oh, what happens? Let's kind of look on the smaller time frame. It does look like it's actually rejecting here. And I was talking about this at some point on my stream that I thought it was actually going to reject here. It was creating nice, lovely sweeps of the tops, and then we were breaking back down. But the thing that you really got to pay attention to is just because it does look like it's rejecting, stopping people out, going a little higher, starts breaking down, doesn't mean that the trend is over. This is still such a strong trend on the larger time frame. But what we're going to have to do then is really, really wait for that reversal to take place. And we're going to maybe draw some levels, right, the previous levels here. And you can see that quite obviously we didn't actually break any levels here. And even if we did, maybe this area would have been a nice bounce zone. So we didn't want to get in too early. And you're really just going to have to be super, super patient when waiting for these reversals, because the reality is you could wait all the way down until it comes back down to here, right? So let's say that the trade came all the way down here, and then you said, okay, for sure it's going to come down now, right? Well, you're going to have a lot of time to play that retrace still. I drew it way down here. You can see on the higher time frame. Maybe we waited that long. All you honestly have to do is if we got a trade and we just played it on the day trade, and then you just follow the trend, right? You can just do something very, very simple like that. That's going to allow you to have one winner instead of 5 losers trying to catch the reversal. And I know it sounds, you want to catch all of those winners, but having only one winner in a week is a lot better than majority of what people are doing. So you really just be patient, wait for that trend change, and then just jump into a daily, intraday trend trading trade for that trend. I'll take a look at what actually happened in the reverse direction here. So we had this very, very long downtrend, right, on the higher time frame. And it kept looking like it was going to come back, but then it just came back down some more. So what we can really do is wait for this massive pullback. This one's massive, right? And let's say you didn't even get in until it starts reversing back over here, or even over here. You still had how many days? How many days did you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days so far, a whole week of that trend going through, and you waited half of the time of that trend, assuming that it's over right now. It could be going on even longer. We don't actually know. I would assume that at any point it's going to be reversing, but we just got to really, really wait to see it completely break down. And then once it does, it's going to go on a same trend for a while. You're going to be able to get 3 or 4 days of that trend trade. You don't need the very top. And then you're only going to maybe be wrong once at the very end when it reverses. But you'll maybe get 3 or 4 right. So the third point, guys, it's very, very similar to what I was just talking about. If you want to increase your winners, if you want to reduce the amount of times that you lose, you're very strictly just going to follow the trend. And you're going to wait for these pullbacks, and everyone's going to have a different means of how they want to actually look for a pullback and how they want to jump into the trade. Maybe they're jumping in on a supply demand zone. Maybe they're jumping in on a breakout. Maybe they're jumping in on some sort of other form of reversal, a moving average, something like this after that pullback. So let's just kind of show you guys my example of how I would jump in to a trend trade after a reversal. All right, guys, I've basically just grabbed a random point, same chart. We're looking at that uptrend, and we're looking for a reversal and then we're going to look for the reversal on the lower time frame back into that major trend. We always need to watch what's the major trend, and then we want to trade that major trend while watching the smaller trend and then a reversal back in the other direction. So to put it very, very simply, you can use anything you want. You can use a moving average even if you want to. I use price action, and the way I use price action is very simple. It's basically once we break back down and then we start breaking the levels that are bringing us down to those lows, right? So once we're breaking back above here, then I'm saying that I am now back into an uptrend, right? And we're matching that same uptrend on the major time frame here. And then I'm just going to look for a reversal quickly to jump in on an entry, because I don't want to grab the very top. So I'll probably draw a little box here or something, just because that's a nice untested level. And then I'll jump in right on that. Right, and then this would be the trade. Very, very simply, let's jump a line there. Let's put, we could throw it back down there and then targeting whatever, right? Targeting whatever highs, maybe that purple zone that we were looking for previously. I just mentioned that in the previous example, and that's a solid 2-hour trade. That's how you're going to follow that trend. I might not have done that here just because it's a very likely possibility that it rejected there. But you do want to be looking for those trend trading, and more often than not, I would say 70% of the time, if you're just following the trend, you're going to be right. The only hard thing is that you have to time the entry perfectly. And if you're using a moving average, for example, maybe you use the moving average cross back over, maybe you're using the cloud system, maybe you're using that alligator thing that people have mentioned. I don't know. I don't care what kind of trend trading system you're using. As long as you're following the major time frame trend, you wait for a pullback to change trend in the other direction on that small time frame, and then back into the major time frame trend, and then you can jump in. All right, guys, that's everything. I know that this is the best Forex channel on YouTube. We're teaching you the absolute best stuff. We're actually giving you something that you can use in the market instead of just abstract garbage thoughts like a lot of other people. If you like what we have to say here, make sure that you join the Discord. I'm posting there whenever I'm going live. I'm going live most weekdays. Sometimes we take it off. And you guys can actually ask me questions. If you guys want some more knowledge, please hit up the website, hunterfx.co.
Listen.